Tiffany A. Dickerson, 552-063. Ms. Dickerson, let me explain the process. I'm going to read some information into the record, and then we're going to conduct the interview with you. And after the interview has been completed, you do have some speakers. I'll be naming them for the record in a minute. The speakers will all enter their statements, 3 minutes each. I will be setting a timer, so when you hear the buzzer, you know that your 3 minutes are up and start closing out. After all the testimony has been received, and we're going to hear from your ward and get an update as to how you've been doing, you'll have the final say. You'll make your closing statement, and then we'll reach a decision. Okay, do you understand the process?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me read your supporters. So we have here at headquarters, Dr. Sharkey. Dr. Sharkey. Oh, I think you even know me. Dr. Sharkey is here at headquarters in support. Here at headquarters, we have Veronica Duncan. Oh, Ms. Duncan is on Zoom. The victim's sister. We have Willie Mae Dorsey, who will not be speaking. Ms. Dorsey, would you raise your hand? Okay, and you will not be speaking. And then Lionel, how you pronounce your last name? Azama Jr., the victim's brother, and you will be speaking. You're here at headquarters. Yeah. All right. And thank you all for your participation today. Let me read the information to the record. Your name is Tiffany Jones Adair Dickerson. Your DOC number is 552-063. You're listed as a first felony offender. Your instant offense is manslaughter. You were sentenced on April the 20th of 2009. And that sentence was commuted on August the 1st of 2023 to 25 years in the Department of Correction and 24 years in the Department of Corrections. You appeared at a pardon hearing on May 8th of 2023 and was granted a recommendation to the governor, and he signed your pardon on August the 1st of 2023. So your parole eligibility date is August the 1st of 2023. Your good time date is December the 16th of 2026, and your full term date is October the 16th of 2031. That sounds about right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Would you answer Mr. Freeman's questions?
Okay, Ms. Dickerson.
Ma'am?
I think the eligibility date was wrong. It's 10/16/2023.
You're correct. I do see that.
And I did want to point out, we do have some other people in attendance here at LCIW.
Would you all call your names out for the record, please, and call it out so that we can hear it?
And state
your relationship to this case.
Deshaun Nixon, I'm Tiffany's aunt.
Gwen Wright, I'm Tiffany's mother. Talisha Dickerson, Tiffany's niece.
Alicia Williams, sister. Antoinette Dickerson, sister.
Jessica Dickerson, sister.
Okay, can y'all go ahead?
Her sister will be speaking on her behalf here.
Okay, thank you. Her sister, Jessica Dickerson, yes, ma'am. Anyone else? You have opportunities for more speakers if you want, for 3 minutes each. Okay, you can decide later. Well, thank you, Warden. Thank you, Warden.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dickerson. How old are you?
50.
Okay, and how far have you gone in school?
I have my high school diploma, graduated in 1991. I came to LCIW, I received my associate's and bachelor's, communication and minor in business management. I completed heavy equipment operations.
Okay. You know, today's the day to be truthful, Ms. Dickerson. So tell me exactly what down between you and Mr. Brian Azima. Am I pronouncing that right?
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tell us what happened. What took place?
Good morning, me and Brian had been arguing. And it got bad that it started turning to physical fighting. And I grabbed a knife and I stabbed and I killed him. I stabbed and killed someone that I love.
Well, you did stab him. I mean, it wasn't just kind of flailing and accidentally hit him. You stabbed him, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had y'all had ongoing conflicts? Quite a bit of arguing in y'all relationship?
Yes, sir.
Were the police ever called before?
A couple of times. I remember a couple of times. Yeah.
Okay. But no charges were filed.
No, sir.
Okay. Any drug, alcohol usage between you and Mr. Azima?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did y'all do? Drink or do narcotics? What y'all did?
We drank a lot and smoked marijuana.
Any other drugs besides marijuana?
Cocaine was used.
All right. How often would you say y'all drink?
I want to say maybe like on weekends, maybe it was weekends. Sometimes we were off from work, after work.
Drug usage was the same, basically mostly on weekends.
Smoked a lot of weed.
Smoked a lot of weed. Okay. Were you high or drunk when this happened?
No, sir.
Have you gotten any drug treatment?
Yes, I did substance abuse.
Okay, which one you did?
Both the Living in Balance and the Celebrate Recovery.
Are you a member of any of the AA, NA groups over there at Hunt?
No, sir.
Have you ever attended NAAA meeting?
No, sir, I haven't.
Well, what did you get out of your drug classes? What did you learn?
How to cope with situations in a positive manner instead of turning to things that I know that is not good for me. And having support from my friends that I've had relationships in here over the years. And just doing other things that I can do to help myself. You know, being true to myself. And just overcoming every obstacle, being in here. And just dealing with my emotions in a different way.
I just want to note for the record that, and there's nothing you can do about this, but the sentencing judge had no comment. The district attorney is opposed. Sheriff Weber is opposed. Chief Lorraine is opposed. Unopposed is your family. Duana Dixon, Nixon, I believe, your aunt. She said she's attended your hearings. And she talked about your disciplinary records, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And the victims, you have strong opposition from the victim's mother, Miss Darcy, from Brian A. Zima, a brother, who will be speaking later. The daughter had no comment. And Miss Veronica Duncan is very opposed. Okay. What is gonna be your residence and employment plan?
I'm gonna be living with my sister Jessica at her home. And she has her own business, and I'm gonna be working with her. And I'm also gonna be applying for jobs, using my certifications that I acquired being here. Recently they had a job fair, and I was able to attend the job fair, and it was a few vendors that seem promising as far as my for employment.
What, you said you gonna live with your sister?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what is her business? What does she do?
She has a catering business.
And, what about your sobriety plan? What is gonna be your sobriety plan? What are you gonna do out to make sure you don't go back to drinking and doing drugs?
I'm gonna find a group. My family's gonna help me with that because I've been down for so long, so they'll be able to help me to find the resources that I need to find a group, a sponsor.
Okay. I'm looking at the classes you took, and you did take Prison Fellowship Academy, Celebrate Recovery, Cage Your Rage, Living in Balance, Victims Accountability, Letter Writing. What did you learn from your victim accountability class?
I learned that it's all about the family and what I've done to them that would always follow them for the rest of their life, and to have empathy and always put them first, because what I did, he didn't deserve that.
What class you would tell me if you had to pick one or two, what you got the most out of?
Definitely the victim impact, listen and learn.
You have one DB report in your 16 years, which is very good, and it was back in 2010. Warden, do you do any community service around the prison, Ms. Dixon?
Yeah, I did. When we was at the old LCIW, I did kitchen duties. I've done that. That was because I'm in a club, and that was part of our community work as far as giving back. And I did a lot of that.
What clubs you belong to?
The Culinary Arts Club.
Any other clubs or organizations you belong to at prison?
No, that's the only club I'm in. That I'm in.
Warden, you have any comments?
Most of her time has been spent in classes. If you see on the rap sheet, it's just some dots there. So she was maxed out. I think the system had too many to count. She has over 2,000 credit days to her going to classes. So that didn't really leave a lot of time for other clubs. She only had the one write-up, but immediately after the flood in 2016, she had the minimum status that was needed. She went back with a few other offenders and a few staff people to the old flooded LCIW to help cut the grass and do some maintenance stuff when the insurance adjusters were still coming through. So that was a big help for us, just to try to keep the facility up and running. We didn't realize at the time that we weren't going to be able to move back there. So they were trying to do as much ground maintenance and stuff, again, with about 3 security staff and about 5 offenders, cutting the grass, doing the weed eating, all of that kind of stuff. Since her last hearing, she did finish her heavy equipment class and got the needed certification. In addition to that, I mean, there's a whole list of all of these classes and stuff that she's been able to do. She did attend that job fair recently, and she got a lot of different companies, warehouses and stuff that would need her assistance, that she could have a job if she decided to not work with her sister. In addition, as soon as she finished her heavy equipment school, because she had the minimum status, we sent her to our headquarters office so she could work on the headquarters detail. We recently took over all the janitorial at the headquarters office, DOC, so she also works on that as well. So she's kind of done everything she needed to do, kept her reports down. I think they discussed at the last hearing, the report that she got was for turning in a library book late. So it wasn't anything to do with, you know, any of her conduct. She just got that book in late, and she's been attending classes and doing what she needed to do these last few years.
I have no.
Right, thank you. Mr. Russell.
One,
Yes.
if you said 2,000 hours of good time credit,
Yes, we added it up real quick in here, and it's like 2,060 if we calculated it right. So over 2,000.
The one there's a statement in it that the mental health team will coordinate aftercare treatment if offender is granted. Is there some concerns there? Or is that a general statement on her,
I think it was more of a general statement. I will find that note, because currently,
institutional
if she
project?
had mental health issues, she doesn't have any currently.
Okay.
She's a level 5 offender.
Okay, so
Yeah.
good, that's fine, all right, I couldn't figure that out, thank you. And I do want to say for the record that you do have, a number of letters of support that's been submitted on your behalf. At this time, we're gonna hear from your sister, Ms. Jessica Dickerson.
Stand. Yeah, so they can see.
You just take it, yeah, just a little while, there you go.
Yes. I'm Jessica Dickerson. I'm Tiffany's sister. One word that seems to come to mind is accountability. Even though Tiffany is my sister, sometimes just because we're related doesn't mean that you know someone. So within 16 years, I got to know my sister. Listening to how she has overcame one extreme to where she is now. Tiffany has learned how to take accountability for the things that she has done, not only just because she needed this for herself, but having an understanding that what you do affects others. So being able to be held accountable, being able to acknowledge the things that you've done and work on every day, incorporate something into your life so that you can become a better person, because every day is not going to be peaches and cream. Every day is not going to be how you expect it to go, but it's what you make of it. If you can take a second to stop and think, it just takes a second, because what you do is going to affect someone else. So at the end of the day, you have the choice to be happy. You have the choice to be positive. You have the choice to be the bigger person and say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. If it's unhealthy, you have the choice to say, you know what? I'm going to do what's right, and I'm going to remove myself from this situation. Will it be hard? Yes. But it's how you get through it. It's how you grow through it. And within 16 years, Tiffany has definitely grown. She's learned how to acknowledge things and bring them to the light. She's learned how to have uncomfortable conversations. Just because you're a certain age, it doesn't stop. It stays with you. But it's the work that you're willing to do so that you can become a better you. Knowing that you have the support, having an open mind, not just thinking that, okay, it's supposed to go this way. No, it's not. That's not the world we live in, and that's not how we are. Are we perfect? No, we are not. We are not. But when you have the understanding that sometimes it's not gonna be what you want it to be, but it's what you make it, and it's how you deal with it. And that's all I would like to say.
Thank you, Ms. Dickerson, thank you. At this time, we can hear from Ms. Veronica Duncan. She's on Zoom.
Yes, can you hear me well?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, thank you. So I am here. I am the victim, Brian's sister, and I'm just representing my family. We just simply didn't have enough stamina for this hearing today. It just chips at our emotions and wears down, honestly. I just like to say she could have walked away, right? But she stabbed him, right? She was afforded the opportunity to plead down to manslaughter, and we think for a violent crime, right? So we were thinking, hey, that's grace in itself. You are able to, she didn't get life. She only got 25 years for manslaughter. So that process was just a dark moment for our family. And it was questionable if we would just pull through that, right? We were just torn apart over the whole plea deal agreement, just to be clear. And although it just wasn't, again, an ideal situation, we were like, well, okay, it's just what it is. So then here we are again with clemency. She didn't get life. I mean, I know Governor Edwards was granting these clemencies and all of the things, but primarily for people who got life sentences. So we thought we were good. We were done with this. But here we are now thinking about, okay, she was granted clemency, and now we're here again talking about, parole, and, and the last time we were talking about, hey, for good time spent in classes and all of the things. But I mean, there's no restitution on a life. There's just none. And so my vote is for her to remain and complete her sentence. My brother is dead. He's always going to be dead, right? He had many years ahead of him. And I just think it could have been a better choice that was made. I mean, he has a whole daughter that is in opposition. We did send you guys letters. His mom is sitting right there. She is in opposition, but she's not a speaker, right? And so at the end of the day, our lives have changed forever. He has grandkids that he won't ever get to meet. And so it just hurt us to our core for that. And I mean, I know you guys have mentioned like, hey, accountability and all of that stuff. Well, I'm a proud graduate of the Southern University. So I understand what it is, the importance of community service and giving back. It's been my privilege to leverage whatever resources that I have to give back to my brother's daughter and his grandkids, right? And nothing is going to be able to fill that hole of him not being here. So again, I just stress the importance that she didn't get life. She'll be able to finish this term, right? The accountability, serve the time, is not life. He can't come back. And so I just feel like, she was giving grace with the plea. And it's just my opinion that, hey, I mean, I just think that that's the accountability. The part of just not necessarily being grateful is just putting us through this over and over again, right? And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, sir, Mr. Larnell,
Yes,
I still ain't learned it.
awesome.
Awesome, step to the front. And I'm from North Louisiana, so these
Okay.
names really get me.
Yes, well, I want to say, when you speak of accountability, like I had a detective told me that he passed by and she was sitting on the steps, and 20 minutes later, he was called right back to that scene. So when they did get there, my brother still barely had a pulse, but he had a pulse. So I just couldn't get over, if you didn't want to do so, well, I would do everything in my power to make that right. I would call the people. I feel like those moments that you said there, you could have saved his life. But when you speak of accountability, you gotta be accountable for your actions if that's something you didn't want to do. And so, and on my mother's behalf, what mother or father wants to bury their own child? He ain't never coming back. So that's what I have to say. Keep that short and simple. That's what I have.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Tiffany, we've heard all other testimonies. I did have one question. Do you have any children, Tiffany?
No, ma'am.
So tell us what you would like us to know before we vote.
to the board. I'm grateful for having this chance to be here. I am truly sorry for all my past mistakes that led me here. But I've changed from the person I was before my incarceration to the woman I am today. These past 16 years, I've made positive changes through every achievement, discipline, and my behavior. I'm ready for the opportunity of freedom again, and I trust and believe once I re-enter back into society, I will continue the path of hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Freeman, this is your case.
Okay, first off, I thank everybody for showing up today. That is one flaw in our system where you got to keep coming back and back and back. And reliving what went on both sides of the fence. You know, with Dickerson, you've done very, very well. You've served 66% of your sentence. You have a terrific disciplinary record. You have some terrific classes. I like the fact that, you know, and I have nothing against the Bible studies and the Bible classes, but quite frankly, when you get out, there's not much out there you can do with that kind of degree, whereas you took other kind of classes to where you probably could help you find a job and be more productive. It's a tough one, but my vote today is to grant with 3 AA meetings a week and no contact with the victim whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Roche.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Good morning, Ms. Dickerson. How are you?
Nervous, grateful.
Well, I remember you very well from your hearing in May of this year. I presented your case, and based upon positive remarks that you received from Warden Thomas at that time, an excellent disciplinary record, only one Class A write-up in 16 years of incarceration, good programs, over 2,000 hours of good time credit, an excellent transition plan, and a low risk assessment, which tells us that you have a very low chance of reoffending. My vote is to grant your request for early release. Conditions after release: curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I want you to do some community service at 4 hours per month. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Ms. Dickerson, I was very concerned about you. When I was reading your case material, and I'm glad that you were honest about the drug use, because I don't recall reading that in the record. That impressed me, that you did come forward today. But what really, another thing that impressed me, in addition to your excellent institutional record, is your family support that you have in the room today. So you have no excuse. You will have no excuse not to do what you need to do to stay between the lines. And your sister even, mentioned how you have matured, how you have grown, from who you were when you committed this offense on that day. The things that you allowed in your life, the things that how you handle situations. I think your sister has a very good grasp on that. And I hope you don't get too aggravated listening to her, because I don't think she's gonna get tired of telling you if you need to hear it. And it's better that she tell you than you hearing it from a correctional officer. And that's important. So my vote is to grant. I'm not gonna belittle any longer. My vote is to grant as well. Again, I understand the victims and its impact on their life, but you did a great harm. You healed yourself and you've been helping others. And that's all that we can ask. And you've done that. So my vote is to grant as well, with the conditions that have been set forth on the record. Best wishes to you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.